Have you ever been told that you can't do something? That it's too hard, too complicated? That you're not good enough, not talented enough? That your dream is just too big, too unrealistic? I have. We all have at one point or another. And those voices, at first, they come from the outside. From teachers, friends, strangers, people who don't believe in your vision because they can see it. Because it doesn't fit into what they already understand. Even when they just mean well. But their words, they really start to sip in. And they slowly become something far worse. Something that sounds just like your own voice. What if I fail? Who do I think I am? What makes me think I can do this? Sounds familiar, doesn't it? That inner voice can be loud, relentless, convincing. Because when doubt wears your voice, it feels real. It feels true. But what if I told you those voices were wrong all along? What if those limits we place on ourselves are just walls? Walls that we've built, walls that we've allowed to stand between us and our dreams. What if everything we've been told about how to achieve our dreams is completely wrong? Unfortunately, we live in a world that constantly tells us what's possible. That success requires team, resources, time, that we need permission, we're told to play it safe, to follow the rules. But what if that's all not true? What if everything we've been told about how to achieve our dreams is completely wrong? I decided to test that theory and find out. Then came my capstone. You see, that word alone felt heavy, like a mountain, something final, defining. And of course, I could have picked something safe, something I was familiar with, something I already knew how to do. A hyper-realistic portrait, a stylish concept art piece, a 3D model, maybe even a full 2-meter diorama. Something impressive, yet manageable. Projects I could execute, control, guarantee. But then I stopped and asked myself, is that who I want to be? Is that how I want to finish those 4 years of studying? With something safe, something simple, something I'm familiar with? No, absolutely not. Because nothing worth remembering comes from safety. And more than that, I didn't come here to prove I can do what I already know. I'm standing here in front of you guys today to challenge who I thought I was, to become someone I wasn't sure I could be. You see, I've always loved art. It's not a secret. It's been this part of me my whole life. In sketchbooks, in doodles, in many, many projects I've done throughout the time that I've been here. It felt home. It was mine. But even in that safety, there was something missing. Something I avoided for a very, very long time. Something that I was terrified of. Animation. And it's not because I didn't admire it or respect it, I did, but because the scale of it felt impossible. I mean, think about this. When you watch an animated film or a movie, you don't just see drawings. You see a mountain of moving parts, an actual machine. You have story artists, concept artists, background painters, compositors, editors, directors, and an army of 20, 30, sometimes 100 animators working in perfect sync. That's a whole lot of people. And that also made me wonder, what if one person could do it all? What if one person, without a team, without a studio, without funding, could tell a story that moves people? A story with pacing, with emotion, with characters. A film. An actual short animated film. Could it be done? Could I do it? That became my capstone. That became my question. Not just about animation, really, but about the possibility, about testing every limit I thought I had. It wasn't just about creating a film, really, but about proving something to myself and doing something I might not be good at. Because one thing I know after doing this project is that growth doesn't come from knowing where you're going. It comes from walking straight into what you don't. This project wasn't just an assignment. It was a confrontation with fear, with doubt, with that inner voice that said, you can't. And guess what? This time, I talked back. I didn't know how to animate. I didn't know how to rig a character. I didn't know how to light a scene or time a sequence for emotion. But I figured it out. Slowly, painfully, while making tons and tons of mistakes, many of them. But I also learned from them. I gave myself permission to try. So this isn't just a film. This isn't just my capstone. It's the proof. Proof that the limits we believe in aren't real. Proof that one person, one vision, one story can be enough. And prove that the only voice that really matters is the one inside you, the one that dares to try. So now, after doing something I once thought was impossible, you're about to see the answer to the question that started it all. Can I really do this? Let's find out. And now, if you can and if you want to, you can grab some popcorn, because you're gonna sit here quite a while. It is.
Memories. They are something none of us can let go of. The good ones bring us warmth, the bad ones can hurt. But they teach us and make us stronger. Together they shape our story, our lives, our everything. But what if we could keep them forever? See them again, relive them, even in the dark, when everything else fades away.
It won't hurt, I promise. Just a little prick and then magic. So, how does it feel?
Dad, are you sure I really need this?
Sweetheart, we all need it. This isn't just some gadget. It's your story. Every moment, every feeling, everything you see and experience will be right here, forever.
Right.
Still struggling to recall your memories? Now, with MEMO, you can live every moment twice. Capture, relive, and cherish it all. The good, the bad, and unforgettable. All part of your story.
Come on, let's go. It's your big day today. We need to get to school.
People call me a lot of things. Quiet, strange, too intense. But mostly, they just call me Jane. And I guess that's enough. I make films. Always have.
What is this feeling? Is this life? I'm alive! I'm alive! I will start a family. I will go on vacations. I will follow my dreams.
What?
even is this?
But the truth is, most people never really understood me. I've never fit in, for lots of reasons, but art has always been there for me. My parents haven't figured me out yet, and to be fair, it took me a while to figure myself out too. My mum says she believes in me, but she's always half somewhere else.
Come on, I know you can do this.
She says that to everyone, even our bunny. That's the kind of faith that she has in things. In people, in pets, in me. Even if she doesn't always understand me, I know she's trying. My dad, well, he's an unusual guy, but he loves technology and is great with gadgets. He can fix anything. He's the one who created this whole MEMO technology. He's great, but if I'm being honest, he never really shared my interests. Hey, do you want to see the model I built for my project?
Is it for science?
No, it's for art, but...
Honey, you know what I told you. You need to focus on something more stable. Not this.
Right. To be honest, it was always like this. My dad built machines. I built stories. He could fix anything. Except maybe the space between us. It didn't really bother me though, because I had bigger plans. California. A school where art isn't weird, it's worshipped. 19 projects, 2 sleepless summers, 1 shot. That's all I did. I put everything I had just to be on the list of students. People always say you'll just know when it's your moment, like the sky opens up or the stars align. For me, it came in the form of a plain white envelope. And the other students totally get me.
Oh, by the way, I saw some of your work and they're mind-blowing.
Wait, you made that one short film with the floating mirror? Dude, you're insane!
And finally, after all these years, I'm going to meet my people.
Someone's in a good mood, huh? Well, to celebrate, I made cupcakes. Anytime I miss you, I'm just going to bake you and devour you.
Okay, that's weirdly sweet and slightly terrifying.
You're welcome.
Gosh, I'm really gonna miss that fluffy ball when I leave. Oh, by the way, I have something to show you.
New update. Save your time. Share with others. Memo. Because memories are there forever.
Wait, Memo's updating again?
Saving memories on SD cards? Matt, how come you didn't tell us about this update? When's it coming out?
It's not released yet. This is just a teaser, but the new feature will let you save memories on an SD card and share them with others. Just a little extra.
Sounds intense. Anyway, now that we're all sitting here comfortably, I can't wait for you guys to see my new movie. I think I made a little masterpiece.
It's raining tacos from out of the sky. Tacos, no need to ask why.
What? What's with the face?
Whoa, I just wonder, do you really think you can make a living with this kind of thing?
Dad, can you just finish watching it first?
I will, but I just worry that once you'll be all the way in California, we won't be able to help you if things won't work out.
Are you... Do you really think that I'm just going to fail?
Honey, I never...
Who wants
I'm just
cookies
worried.
instead of talking about this?
Failure hurts, kid. Just want you to have a backup plan.
Why do you always have to do this? Okay, you know what? I'm just going to...
Look, I'll watch it.
Dad, it's too late.
Look, I want to watch it, okay? I want to watch it.
Dad, just let me...
Why are you making such a big deal out of it?
Dad, just let go!
Jane, come on.
Dad, this is exactly why I can't wait to leave tomorrow. Why does he always do this?
That was MEMO. What you just watched was only a part of a much larger story that I'm still in the process of building. Now, I know the scene cuts off suddenly, mid-thought, mid-emotion, and trust me, I hate doing this. But that's also where something clicked for me. Animation is not a joke. It taught me more than any class or tutorial ever could. It showed me why it takes so long to make such films. It showed me why people need departments, pipelines, and teams. Yet, I chose to do it alone. Not because I thought I could, but because I had to. Because this story wouldn't let go of me. I ended up splitting the movie into 2 chapters, not just because of time or technical limits, but because the story demanded it. It needed space. Space to fully explore Jane's world and her father's. To let the silence settle in, to let the emotion breathe. Because healing doesn't always happen in one sitting. It comes in pieces. And truthfully, making this nearly broke me. Like I said before, I had no experience or background in animation whatsoever. Complete nada. No studio, no professional tools. All I had was a good old Photoshop, which, by the way, is not for animation. It's for photo editing. But that's all I had access to. My laptop throughout this journey froze constantly. My graphic tablet broke halfway through. My digital pen broke a few days ago. There were some nights I had to animate completely blind. No line visibility, no line pressure, just pure muscle memory. There were nights I finished entire scenes only to lose them when the program crashed and there was no backup plan. Hours of my work gone, just like that. And I had to start over and over, again and again. And honestly, at the first few times, it was okay. I mean, it's live, it happens. But as it was happening so constantly, 3-4 times a day, I really started to lose hope. Like this film wasn't even going to happen. The truth, most of what you saw had to be reanimated from scratch more than once. I lost sleep, I lost patience, and I cried more than I like to admit. But I never lost the reason why I started this project. Because this story mattered. That's where the idea of MEMO came from. A word where you could store memories like files, safe, untouchable, eternal. But as I kept writing the script, it wasn't just about technology anymore. It was about what technology can't fix. About grief, about family, about regret. The quiet distance between people who love each other but don't always know how to say it. I chose to mix this futuristic kind of technology into this very human story because we're naturally drawn to the unknown. We chase the mysterious, the unexplainable. But in the end, it's always the human part that stays with us. That's what MEMO is. A story of connection, of holding on, and of learning when it's okay to let go. And now, because it splits the project into 2 chapters, and if you're, of course, curious enough, you can follow the MEMO account on Instagram. And once I finish the full movie and I'm fully proud of it, you can also watch it on MEMO's YouTube account. Now, I don't know about you, but every single time I watch an animated movie or a short film or anything, it shows a glimpse of process behind it. And I think for you to understand what I mean, that making an animated short film is a lot of work, it would be great to show you what I had to face to make mine. So let's just do that. Let's light it by this. Okay. What you see right here is my workspace. This is the screen, and those are the layers. Now, every single layer, I'm not sure if you can see it, but I'm going to make it seen. There we go. Is responsible for a fraction of what you see on the screen. Now, to explain to you the process of making animation a little bit simpler, we're gonna think of making a movie as of making a dish. Let's say a sandwich. First of all, to make this, let's say it's this fancy one for your grandmother who made it special. You're gonna need the recipe, which in this case happens to be. Which in this case happens to be the draft of the movie. Now, the draft of the movie is basically like a blueprint. It's for me to understand what's going to happen next. Later on, since we have the recipe, we can start making it. So we're gonna start with our piece of bread, our base, which happens to be the background. Now, the background is really important because it's basically what happens in the back. And if you're thinking, why I'm not mixing the background with characters and with objects, well, for you to see it move smoothly and everything else, it needs to be on a separate layers. So background is really a key frame that needs to be there. Later on, we can start adding our ingredients for the special sandwich, which happen to be objects. A seat, like in this case, a character, literally anything that you will see mainly in the screen. And now, as you can see here, something is off. When I look at it, I'm confused. As a viewer, when you're making an animated movie, you need to catch someone's attention to a certain part. And to do just that, it's good to use light or shadow, which is going to be our top piece of the body for the sandwich. And now it looks so much better, at least in my opinion. Now this is what you see. This is only one single, not even second of the movie. I'm gonna show to you how many layers it actually takes to make only, a minute? There's tons of it, really. But as I told you before, we need the draft. Now, the draft isn't made from just like that because I had the idea. I needed to do some notes before, which is tons and tons of drawings of single frames. It's not animated, it's the general idea. Animation is far much worse. Now later on, obviously I can't just take the characters out of my pinky. So I had to do character design for every single person in the movie. If it will open, that is. Okay, great. Let me just... Great. Now, I chose this very simple style because when you're working on an animation, it's really important to keep things simple, especially when it's a long movie. And I know 5 or 7 minutes doesn't sound like a long movie, but the process of it is incredibly horrible and long. Now, characters such as Jane, who appeared a lot on the screen, had to have a full turnaround, like this. If it will open, lovely. So while I was making the movie and to not draw and everything from scratch, I could just copy and paste the parts, adjust it however I want, depending on the frame that I wanted to show her in. And that was the work. Now let's go back to the family. I have actually a question for you guys. Okay. It's easier on graphic tablets, trust me. Great. What do you think the title of this movie means? Anyone? After watching this movie? You see, the memo might seem simple and stand for memories, right? But there's also more to it. Memo stands for a message, a memo to yourself, a reminder. Because this whole story was born out of one, a real one. And if I'm being completely honest, that's something I haven't told you until now, before. This project didn't start just with a question, can I make an animated short film? No, it was the idea, yes. But the origin of it began with an envelope. An envelope that I wrote to myself after someone very close to me passed away. You see, grief is strange. One moment there's someone right next to you, and the next they're just not. They just vanish off of the place, off of the planet. And the worst part is, we hold onto the memories so tightly, we forget to say the things that matter while we still can. The film became a message for that someone from me, a way of saying what I never got to say. In that letter, I wrote about memory, how I cling to it, how I fear letting go. And I wondered, what if we could keep those memories forever? What would the world look like? That's where MEMO truly began. And now, I'd like all of you, right now, look under your seats. You will find something.
I got it.
Memories?
Everyone?
Just a piece of card.
Yes. Show it to everyone. What is there anything in it?
It's empty.
Exactly. And no, it's not a mistake. That's your own memory, your own message. Write it to someone you love, to someone you've lost, to someone you've become. Because if this film is about anything, it's this. We don't need perfect memories to remember who we are. We just need to choose what's worth holding on to. Not everything needs to be replaced, but some feelings, some truths, some things need to be remembered forever. And now, it's your turn to write them down. Thank you.
Memories. They are something none of us can let go of. The good ones bring us warmth, the bad ones can hurt. But they teach us and make us stronger. Together they shape our story, our lives, our everything. But what if we could keep them forever? See them again, relive them, even in the dark, when everything else fades away.
It won't hurt, I promise. Just a little prick and then magic. So, how does it feel?
Dad, are you sure I really need this?
Sweetheart, we all need it. This isn't just some gadget. It's your story. Every moment, every feeling, everything you see and experience will be right here, forever.
Right.
Still struggling to recall your memories? Now, with MEMO, you can live every moment twice. Capture, relive, and cherish it all. The good, the bad, and unforgettable. All part of your story.